All right, folks. Alabama made it to the bye week. Where do they stand, and what are the chances of the SEC championship? It's time for us to take a look at that.
This video was brought to you by the HerbNrodg Podcast.
Sorry, was getting into that intro a little bit. Appreciate it, Herb from the HerbNrodg Podcast coming at you this morning. Tough game for the Tide this weekend, but get to the bye week. It's time to take a look at what the overall picture is for the Tide. It's easy. You're undefeated in SEC play. You still coming out of the bye. You have LSU, who has now fired their coach. No idea what's going to happen there. Then you are at home again for Oklahoma. Then Eastern Illinois. We're going to skip that game. If Tide loses that, we don't deserve to make the playoffs anyway. Then you go to Auburn in the year. 3-game slate in the SEC. Realistically, you can only lose one of those. And honestly speaking, it would have to be the Oklahoma game. LSU now unranked. Who knows how they're going to finish the year. Auburn unranked. Those losses will hurt more in the playoff perspective and seeding if you're at one loss versus anything else. But the vision, the path is clear. Win out, you're going to the playoffs. You're going to the SEC championship game, and then win or lose there, you're going to the playoffs. That's the clearest path. Win your games. No, it sounds easy. Yeah, that's why I'm sitting in the seat, not on the field, but that's what it is for you. As far as your opponents, Texas A&M looks like they look maybe the best team in the country. At least definitely their number 3 ranking is very well deserved, playing very, very well. Another demolishing of LSU so bad that the coach got fired. Where do they stand after this? They go to Missouri, then they're home for South Carolina, then they're at Texas to end the year. Don't really foresee more than one loss. Missouri wasn't a huge believer in them, and then now they lost their quarterback. South Carolina, we honestly have no idea what to expect. Did they just get up for Alabama? Is it over for them? And then Texas is Texas. We'll see how that game goes. But I don't foresee them losing more than one game. They are most likely in the SEC championship, especially since they don't play a lot. No Ole Miss, no Georgia on the schedule, no Vandy. Those are the other, no Alabama. Those are the other teams that would be in the mix for 0 losses, 1 loss, that sort of thing. And we can, let me see, do we have this called up where we can kind of take a look at where everything else is? Yeah, Herb, you should have had this prepared. Rodg will be prepared. I know. That's why Rodg is usually the good one here. So let's go ahead and bring up the SEC standings real quick so everybody can see what we got going on. Here we go. So it's basically like I just said, and I know it's really small. You can see it. Texas A&M, Alabama, the only undefeated teams on there. Georgia, Ole Miss, Vandy, and Texas right behind them with 1 loss. Now, Texas and Vandy play at the end of the year, and we already mentioned Texas also has Texas A&M. Texas has Vandy, Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. They're getting another loss. They're going to drop out of that slate right there. Vandy has, like I said, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Could we see one more loss there? Very easily. Georgia and Ole Miss, maybe your easiest roads. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi State. I think they go undefeated for the rest of their season. They probably end at 1 loss. Georgia has Florida, Mississippi State, Texas. They probably don't get another loss. Now, our friend Randy, Bulldog fan, had Georgia at 10-2 to end the year, but that second loss being against Georgia Tech, so would not affect them in the SEC standings. So all that to say, if you're Alabama, your easiest path is still winning all your games. You don't want to drop into that one loss category. And then I understand we beat Georgia, and if they're the only one there head to head, we're good. But if it's not Georgia and there's multiple teams in there, yeah. So let's one more screen we're gonna show real quick here. Let's see. I called this up the other day, the tie-breaking procedures. Yeah, just made my head hurt reading that. Just make it easy on yourself for Alabama. Win the games. Then you're in. SEC championship, you're in the playoffs. And everything is fine from there on out. So appreciate it. Quick video. Just wanted to cover that. I know most of you guys already knew it, but hey, still got to put it out there, put it into the universe. Alabama needs this bye week. Go ahead and rest up, get ready. And like I said, LSU, you would think wasn't that tough a matchup, but teams that fired their coach, sometimes they play with their hair on fire. So I don't have much hair, so I don't really put my hair on. But anyway, appreciate you guys listening. Have a great day. Enjoy your bye week. Roll Tide.